Hi everybody, my name is Tommy Cuevas, your personal cloud engineer here at Velosio, and today I'm going to be talking about migrating your data from an on-premise file system over to the cloud. Many of you may be working in an office infrastructure where you have to VPN or maybe be in the office to get to your data, especially if you're using something called a network drive. Traditionally something like an X or a drive that you access from your control panel. Well, there may be a better solution for you, and that solution may be the cloud. There are lots of benefits to moving over from an on-prem file server over to the cloud. And Microsoft kind of sees it in three different levels. So you have OneDrive for your personal files. This would be what we used to call a user file or a user folder within a network drive. This is great if you're working on personal documentation or maybe you need some approval from a boss or a manager where you may be sharing this information with one other person. Then you have Microsoft Teams. Microsoft Teams really shines when it comes to collaboration. I know most people use it for maybe just talking to each other or chatting or getting into a meeting, but there are tons of collaboration tools built into Microsoft Teams. It's actually one of its main functions. Well, the great thing about Microsoft Teams is you can work work with files, work within documents in real time with your coworkers. I also tend to see more and more people using Microsoft Teams for what I call internal departmental documentation. So this is documentation that is not necessarily shared with the entire organization, just really the departmental stuff. The benefits of using Teams for this kind of information is it's really easy to track who has access to your Teams channels. So say for instance you're working with HR documentation, you can easily see who's part of your team and who has access to the files in Microsoft Teams. The other benefit is it's great for, like I said, collaboration. So say for instance you're an HR director and you've decided to maybe revamp your HR documentation and you want your team members to have their own input. What you can do is upload that documentation into Microsoft Teams, and just so you know, whenever you create a Microsoft Teams channel, it also creates a Microsoft Teams SharePoint site specifically to house this information and to collaborate with and to share information with other people in your department or in your project. So the benefits of this is you can open up documentation in real time and you can see people editing the document in real time with a little icon next to where they're working at. The other benefit of this is, like I said, security. So if you want to go ahead and share this information with, say, another person in your department, instead of going ahead and uploading a document or attaching it to an email, you can go ahead and just send a link, or you can go ahead and say, hey, right in this team channel, here's this file, I want your input. That's one of the benefits of using Microsoft Teams for collaboration and documentation. Not only that, but it does have a more up-forward security footprint as far as who has access to what files. So you've worked on that HR documentation and it's ready for prime time. It's ready for public consumption, either with people within your organization or people outside of your organization. That's where SharePoint comes in. SharePoint is a great communication tool for people internal of your organization and external of your organization. So this is where you would go ahead and put up policies, information about your organization that you want to share with your coworkers, videos, photos. I've seen people create SharePoint sites for pets of the organization just to keep everybody up to date. It's a really good, almost like a town center for your organization, and to have that documentation available for people to go ahead and get their job done on a daily basis. The added features of moving over to the cloud is you can access it from anywhere. You can access it from your cell phone. You can access it from your computer at home, tablets. As long as you have it open, you're able to access this information from anywhere in the world. So say for instance you have a lot of remote coworkers. You no longer have to worry about connecting to VPNs or having conditional access, things along those lines. People can access that information as long as they have an internet connection. The other bonus of this, especially if you're using Microsoft Teams or you're using Microsoft OneDrive, is all that information is available directly on any device that you've logged into. So say for instance you want to go ahead and send a file over to somebody really quickly in an email, but you're away from your desk. What you can do is instantly access that data from your cell phone and share it out with whoever in your organization or even external users. The other added bonus of moving over to the cloud is that it's very secure. All the information in SharePoint, OneDrive, and Teams is encrypted, and it's easy to monitor who is accessing that information at any time. There are other bonuses like versioning. So by default, SharePoint, Teams, and OneDrive go ahead and keep 500 versions of every document that you upload into those services. So say for instance, somebody goes ahead, and I've had this happen to me plenty of times as an IT manager, somebody overwrites an Excel spreadsheet. Now, what you have to do if you don't have versioning is you have to go ahead and figure out what happened, and you have to repair that Excel spreadsheet. Well, the nice thing about SharePoint, OneDrive, and Teams is you can roll it back to a previous version. As long as no one's overwritten that document more than 501 times, you can always recover that document to a previous state. This also works for deleting documents or even deleting sites. So say for instance somebody accidentally deletes a site or a document library or a document. Those people can go ahead and access the recycling bin, and it stays in there for 30 days. So what happens after 30 days if somebody says, oh, I forgot? As an administrator, you have access to what's called a second stage recycling bin, which keeps that information in there for 90 days. So even if somebody's deleted it and emptied out the recycling bin, you can recover that information from the second stage recycling bin. And of course, all this is easily managed from the M365 admin console and website. So it's easy to manage, it's easy to give access to, it's easy to track, and of course there's tons of security that's built into Microsoft systems. Even if somebody goes ahead and downloads, say, ransomware to their local computer, the nice thing is that since everything's in the cloud, it's all recoverable. So it adds that extra level of security. It makes it so you don't have to worry about ransomware or anything along those lines. Of course, you also have the added security of Microsoft's login and multi-factor authentication. So this way, if somebody is accessing the system, you know they're supposed to be there. My name is Tommy Cuevas, your personal cloud engineer. I thank you for watching this video, and if you have any more questions, please reach out to us at Velosio. Thank you.